So I just don't know what I have to say now. Well, basically, I just don't understand what the F is going on with my trading, because the past week, the L's that we took, I understood and was well aware into why I had to take those L's, right? But this week, I'm just traumatized by the fact that why does price have to spike me out before going in my initial direction? Because there's no other thing that I just have to do apart from me having to control my emotions, having to manage my risk, and to most of all understand my psychology, right? But this is boy Harlem. If you're new to my channel, thanks for choosing COT Academy as the best YouTube channel in the world, and for most of all choosing the Circle of Traders Forex Institute as the greatest Forex Institute in the world. But on today's video, I just want to update you guys based on our $100 to 5k trading challenge, just to tell you guys that we now are 40% down on our challenge. And being 40% down doesn't mean that we're taking unnecessary setups or we're taking useless trading setups, but it's just a thing that based on how we trade and based on how we approach the markets, we understand that it's not always going to be a win for us. But on today's video, I want to make you guys understand that you can get all your criteria right, you can get all your trading urge, your system, your setups, and overall get a clean trading setup but still take an L. But it's inevitable that traders will never lose. But on today's video, I want to show you guys how we lost on two trades that we took in our trading challenge. And one was based on Friday, because on Friday, after I uploaded a video to you guys, there was a trading setup that we executed based on this one, the first setup, right? It was a simple trading approach, right? So we understood that our overall structure is bullish, right? So well, our current price was looking bearish, and then we had a flip in our resistance, right? Because this was our previous resistance that is now turning into our new support, right? And then we had a reaction on our very same one, resistance slash support. From this reaction, price had a push to the upside. So with this push to the upside on Friday, we marked out those previous lows, right? We had to mark out those previous lows. So from marking out those previous lows, we had an anticipation with the team that the only thing that we might look for is for continuations to the upside based on where above our very same previous low. And obviously being above our previous low, we're gonna look for a momentum candlestick to confirm our trade or our setup, right? So when you clearly look at this, you can tell that we did get a momentum candlestick, which was on 11 a.m. right? 11 a.m. on Friday, our London session. You can clearly see that we had rejections right below this very same zone until price gave us a momentum candlestick, right? So with a momentum candlestick, we now anticipated that there's a high possibility that price will continue to the upside. So once this candlestick closed, we anticipated that there might be a continuation to the upside, but only if price will break above this current candlestick, right? And when you look at it, you can simply tell that the current candlestick broke above our candlestick, right, and triggered us in that trade. So from us being triggered in the trade, unfortunately price didn't favor our setup at that time, right? What happened from there? Price took us out. So from price took us out, we had a 45 pip loss, right? With a 45 pip loss, price went in our initial direction on NFP. And mind you, I was in a meeting at that time with my IB manager, right? So me being in a meeting, I forgot that I was in trades until she was like, hey Harlem, it's NFP now, right? So once she told me that, took up my phone, the minute I took up my phone, I didn't see any position running in my screen, on my MTE, on my platform, right? I didn't see any trades running, and I didn't see any profit and loss. So I was now traumatized in a way that the price hit my TP, or the price spat me out. That's when I went to my trading history, only to find that price took us out before going in our initial direction. So with that being said, we now understood that, okay, price took us out before going in our initial direction. So we had a clean 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, right? But unfortunately this was still an L, so we had a 10% loss. So with a 10% loss, we moved our second trade, which was on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we now understand that, okay, price has resistance, right? Price has resistance. When you can clearly see, this is our resistance, right? So with price having resistance, we now understood that we have a breakout and a retest and a continuation to the upside. So once price gave us a pullback on our very same resistance, once we had a pullback below our resistance and price gave us a trade above of our resistance, meaning we had a breakout. So we had a break above. So sorry guys, we had a breakout. We had a breakout, and we had a break below, and then we had a breakout again. So with a breakout again, we now understood that there's a high possibility that price will continue moving to the upside based on price trading above our resistance, right? With price trading above our resistance, we now understood that there's a high possibility that price will continue moving to the upside. So with us having that anticipation, you can clearly see this 1300 candlestick. You can tell that this 1300 candlestick had a bear open. So with a bear open, price traded below our zone, but unfortunately the bulls were still in charge. What happened? The candlestick flipped and closed bullish above our very same zone, right? With that being said, we now understood with the team that there's a high possibility that price will continue moving to the upside, but there's only a few things that we need to wait for. What are those few things? We need to at least wait for price to trade above this current candlestick. So what did we do with the team? So one of my students, actually one of our trading students, a good student, told me that, okay bruh, Harlem, in order for us to anticipate that continuation to the upside, we need to at least trade above those very same rejections, those rejections that I've just marked out. If price will trade above those rejections, then we might look for that continuation to the upside. So as soon as he told me that, that's when I was like, okay, we might have bought early, or we might have put our money to work early. But again, we understood that we had a candlestick flip from a bear open to a bullish candlestick close with a full body close with a long wick rejection to the downside, which spiked to the downside but had a full body close. There's a high possibility that we must still continue moving to the upside. But as soon as my client told me that, then it's when I was a bit skeptical about this setup, because at first I didn't really pay attention to this previous high, right? Because I took it like this. This was our higher high, this was our higher low, this was our higher high, this was our pullback higher low. And once price traded above this zone, we anticipated a possible new higher high, right? But when you clearly look at this, you can tell that based on what my client told me, price did exactly what it did. Because as soon as price pushed to the downside on our NYSE, you can clearly see that trading with the best broker will forever help you, and trading on the best platform will forever help you, because price almost took us out. It left a pip before it took us out, and then it flipped and closed bullish. So once the candlestick flipped and closed bullish, we now were more than comfortable to say, guys, price might still continue moving to the upside. But again, what happened? The coming candlestick, this rejection candlestick, what happened from this candlestick? It had a bullish open, and then it had a bear close. Once this candlestick closed bearish, I was now feeling uncomfortable to a point where I now had a thought that price might move to the downside to get some momentum before it can move to the upside. So with the team, the team told me that just go break even, right? As soon as they said I should go break even, ego, pride, greed, and the confidence of knowing too much stepped in and took control of me, and I forgot everything that I had to stick to, right? So what happened from there? I held this trade until this candlestick, boom, pushed to the downside and took us out. And as soon as the candlestick took us out, it flipped and went in our initial direction. And again, that was also an L. Do you guys get that? So when you look at this video, you will understand that out of the two trades that we took, it was inevitable that we were not gonna lose, but at the same time, it's inevitable that you will not lose, right? So let me just say this: those two trades were just a test to me, to a point where if I take a trade and I lose, will I hop back in, or will I just accept that it was an L for me that day? Because back then, before I learned the discipline that I have now, the way price took me out, I could have went in again just so I can recover the losses that I just experienced. And that's not the way of trading, right? So I now understood that I can maintain FOMO, I can maintain my discipline. I took an L. Let's just wait for price. Let's just let price do what it has to do. Do you guys get it? So understand, guys, that we're now 40% down, because those two trades were like a 10% L and a 10% L, right? So understanding that we're now 40% down, we're now left with a 60% chance of having to flip this $100 into 5K. We now believe that this is the right time to flip it, because we've went through much adversity to a point where we now believe that this will flip and this will work out for us. But it's only based on us having to show up, sticking to the plan, sticking to the trading urge, sticking to the discipline, the risk management, our RR, and overall sticking to what we know and what we understand, and let anything else be what it is. You guys get it? But without further ado, that's your boy Harlem, King COT. Thanks for liking the video, for sharing the video, for leaving a comment, for clicking that link to sign up with the broker that I trade with and how to recommend, and for most of all, choosing COT Academy as the best YouTube page, and for overall choosing COT Academy, Forex Academy as the most and the best Forex institutes in the world. But without further ado, that's up with Harlem, King COT, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video.